Welcome back, and you're here with us at Commodity Champions, and joining me now is Mr. Colin Shah, MD at Kama Jewelry, and Pooja Sheth-Madhavan is founder at Limelight Lab-Grown Diamonds. Thank you so much for joining us. Pooja, let me start with you and tell us who are the buyers here, because there's always this debate about this is what HNIs buy and this is what older people buy and this is what millennials buy. Who's buying lab-grown diamonds?
Yes, sure. I think it is the millennials that are looking out for lab-grown diamonds. I think there are two reasons why, they're sort of rooting for lab-growns. The first one being the fact that they are environmental friendly and sustainable. And the second one is that every millennial today is extremely value conscious. So getting bigger the rock in the same price is an extremely attractive proposition for every millennial. India today has the largest millennial population in the world, larger than the entire population of United States. So the Indian consumption market is definitely warming up to lab-grown diamonds. And we're seeing a lot of millennial girls, especially asking their boyfriends or fiancés to get them a lab-grown studded engagement ring.
Colin, is it even just the girls asking, or are men wearing it too?
Men are wearing it too.
Okay.
Some men.
Okay, quality. Colin, I also want to ask you on if 10 years ago, 10 diamonds, let's not go 10 years, 5 years ago, if 10 diamonds were being sold, what was the share of lab-growns and what is it now? What is it expected to be?
To be honest, 10 years back, lab-grown really wasn't there on the map. Today, I would say it's between 5 and 10% of the overall business, depending on the market.
And are people asking for lab-grown diamonds, Colin? I mean, has the market matured as much?
In the US, they're definitely asking for lab-grown diamonds. It's happening to an extent, like a fellow panelist said earlier, in Dubai and Europe and Australia. In India, I think it's still early times. So maybe another year, and you'll have consumers maybe coming in asking for lab-grown diamonds.
Colin, there has been reports suggesting that the reason that you have seen natural diamond prices decline is because there's just so much lab-grown diamonds available now.
Again, there are various theories in the industry on what's really happening. But I can only tell you my own personal opinion is natural diamonds aren't really falling because of any, I would say, other factor other than the economic turmoil that we are in globally, and especially the American market with high inflation, high interest rates, Russia-Ukraine war, China not yet getting back to normal from COVID, and everything that's happening in Europe and Gulf. I think overall, in spite of luxury doing very well, the natural diamond industry, again, we've had the rough import ban on Russian diamonds. So I think there's just too much of turmoil happening globally. And lab-grown is maybe, one more factor amongst all the other factors.
All right.
So in natural diamonds, you're not seeing any respite on the smaller sizes, especially below 20 points. The prices have actually gone up or are very strong right now, even in the last 4 weeks. 20 points to larger sizes, yes, there has been a dip in the last 12 to 18-month period. But going into season with production being at, very low right now, considering what's happening again, we see certain amount of strength coming back on pricing in the next 2-3 months.
Okay, so some consolidation is expected. I want both of yours view on what does it mean for the lab-grown diamond industry with the PM carrying an Indian-made diamond to US. You first, Pooja.
Yeah, no, I think it is an absolute, positive sign in the sense of, this product being a fully Atmanirbhar Bharat product. Right from growing the rock to cutting and polishing to studying it in a fine piece of jewelry. Everything happens in our country. And I think this was a great sort of sign or, sort of promise that was given by PM Modi ji, from us. And also to note is that every lab-grown diamond grown with the CVD method is a type 2A diamond. Something that India, originally had through the Golconda mines. For example, our Kohinoor was also a type 2A diamond. It was nitrogen-free and purely formed of carbon. And that's something that CVD as a technology gives us. So I think there was a lot of, historic sort of prominence also to the lab-grown diamond that has been gifted.
Oh, absolutely. I also want to come to both of you on price part of it, and to you first, Pooja. So while we do understand that lab-grown is at a one-third price of what you will have to pay for natural diamonds, how do you see this pricing, and how would you still look at the debate about natural is natural and lab-grown not so much?
Yeah, no, I think it's important to understand why there's such a price difference. A lot of consumers feel that because it is, cheaper, there may be some compromise in quality. But it's important to understand that, the majority, 70% of the natural diamond pricing that we pay as a consumer is the cost of mining and extracting it from below the earth's surface. That's the mining cost that we save in lab-grown diamonds, and that cost is being passed as a benefit to the end consumer. So there's absolutely no compromise in quality. In fact, we are superior. I mean, lab-grown diamonds are superior in terms of being type 2A quality. So that's something that consumers should sort of appreciate when it comes to lab-grown diamonds, that there is absolutely no compromise in quality.
Colin,
going forward.
Yes.
Sorry. And no, just to add to that, going forward, we certainly see, lab-grown diamonds have their market of their own, an independent market, primarily driven by the benefits, the sustainability benefits that lab-grown diamonds bring to the table. A lot of ESG, efforts are being made globally across different industries. And I think lab-grown diamond is that ESG gift to the gems and jewelry sector that can really make a difference.
Oh, well, yes, that is one box that the lab-grown diamonds definitely tick there. Colin, I was trying to ask you on, I've been reading some reports on how much margin do the retailers keep when they're selling those diamonds. So when it comes to natural diamond and a lab-grown diamond, there are a lot of numbers around there, if you could throw some light on that.
So Manisha, I mean, there were several questions. So one, I'll go with the first one. That obviously, when the Prime Minister gifted this lab-grown diamond, I guess it was the PR moment of the decade for our industry, especially for many of us who've been doing this since a few decades. If you ask anyone in the world where diamonds come from earlier, they would say Belgium, then they came from Africa. But for some reason, it was never India. I think this will maybe put diamonds in general, lab-grown and natural, on the global map that they come from India. So that's one. Second is on pricing. I guess, like any other product which is made, I guess, with machines, there always is going to be a scenario where the machines get more technically advanced, more productive. And as that happens, we will see excess supply and maybe not that much demand. So pricing will be under pressure. Coming to margins, I guess, see, like any other business, and whether it's the TV business, the entertainment business, everyone has to look at their gross margin, rupees or dollars or value addition in terms of percentage and absolute terms. So when it comes to something you're selling at a higher price, say if it's a natural diamond, say if you're making 50%, for example, you equate that in a 1 lakh rupee price point, and that comes to maybe 50,000 rupees. And when you say are selling a lab grown at a similar price, then whether you're making the same amount of dollars, I guess so. Lab grown will maybe be a volume business, and natural will, be a little niche kind of thing. But honestly, it's not going to be this or that. It will be this and that.
All right, I get that.
Industries will coexist and flourish, and there will be a demand for natural and there'll be a demand for lab. That's the global perspective right now.
Fair point that. Okay, I have a last minute remaining, and Pooja, this one is to you. Even as Smit was pointing out that 5 years ago there were 40 reactors. Right now there are 1,200. Is it going to be a problem of plenty going forward with so many people suddenly entering lab-grown production?
Yeah, I think I have a different take on this in the sense that, this technology has existed in the form of industrial diamonds for the last 40 years, so it's not a new technology, but the ability to produce gemstone quality diamonds is something that we have recently recognized and, invented in the last decade or so. So, the ability to come into the market and, provide consistent quality, consistent supply, consistent output is not that easy, So I believe that, the demand is significantly, today we are not we have only seen US as a market, sort of extremely mature when it comes to lab-grown diamonds. But the other markets are still sort of at their nascent stages, So we definitely see that the demand is going to sort of rise in the coming years. And when it comes to supply, yes, of course, it's a technology-based product. It's, in my mind, it's somewhat like the smartphone technology where, the technology at the end of the day may get commoditized, but it is the brands that build on top of the technology, like the Apples and the Samsungs of the world, that will survive and sort of flourish in the lab-grown diamond market.
Oh, very well put. Thank you so much, Pooja and Colin. What a pleasure talking to both of you. And clearly a moment in history when it comes to diamonds yet again, and this time around with the lab-grown diamonds. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Commodity Champions. Thank you for watching.